We are getting ready to depart to Banjul, but my anchor is stuck on something, so I'm gonna use the windlass. I try to do it by hand if I can, just for exercise. I can kind of just make sure I still got strong enough to do it. But this is really stuck on there good. Bye. Hopefully just buried in mud and not caught on a cable or something. That's coming up okay. A bit of load of mud there. Yeah, just a little muddy. Muddy job today. Okay. This morning we are departing Banjul. And I spent the morning checking out in the harbor. It went pretty smoothly. Just had a quick visit to the immigration and customs offices. We're gonna try to head up to the Cabo Verde Islands. Looks like about five days if the winds are good. Just realized I forgot to fold my steps away, so I'm just gonna climb up here real quick, put those in. I had these out when I was looking for hippos. I missed one, darn it. I had to be like the top one too. I'll deal with that in Cape Verde. It should only be 4 to 6 days to the Verde Islands, but if the winds get too much against me, I might just have to give up and go straight across to Barbados, which would be 25 days. So I've got enough water and food for a whole Atlantic crossing, just in case. Also, I heard groceries are expensive there. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but they're pretty reasonable here in Gambia. So I stocked up real good. It's just a big pile at the front. I'll have to eat my way through it to see what I got. All right, engines off, sails are up. Winds on our nose, so slow going so far. We'll tack our way out of the bay here. At least the water's nice and flat, so we can still sail with this light wind as long as the water's flat. If we had some waves, the sails would be flopping all over. We probably wouldn't be able to sail, at least with the winds this light. We got about a knot of tide against us, so we're sailing at 2 knots, minus a knot of current, so that gives us about one knot, between 1 and 1.5 knots we're actually making out of here. But in an hour or two, the tide should switch, so at least we'll have the current with us then for the next 6 hours. And then we can make a little more progress. And hopefully as we get further away from shore, we'll get a little more consistent winds. And then a day or two till we get into the trade winds. Just finishing up some leftover pita and hummus for lunch. Getting a little more into the breeze. Speed's picked up to 2.5 knots. I mean, not real fast, but better than 1 knot. The sun just set on our first day. We've been sailing for about 8 hours. Haven't made it all that far because the winds, we're just having to tack our way out upwind. And then the wind's supposed to die overnight. I'm curious if that's not gonna happen or not. We'll see. We're still shallow enough we can anchor if the wind dies and the current's blowing us backwards. At least don't want to lose ground. We kind of got to get out past Dakar before I think we get into the better wind, which is 80 miles away. And I don't have enough fuel in the motor that far. The wind just died, so I dropped the sails because they were flipping back and forth. And then I put on the anchor light because there's a lot of fishing boats around us. But hopefully they don't run into me. Are those fishing boats? Yeah, they're on the horizon. Good morning, just woke up. And there is like 30 of these pirogue fishing canoes around me. it's a miracle we didn't run into any. I'm glad I wasn't sailing. I was just drifting overnight. Made it 60 miles so far in the first 24 hours. It's not great, but I guess it's progress. The winds have been very switchy, which is kind of frustrating because I feel like we got good wind, we're going for a little bit, and then we just slow down, and I have to switch between the wind vane and the autopilot. Because right now we're kind of just ghosting along. And then I keep thinking we get away from the pirogues. I guess you can't see it. There's two more off in the distance. I don't know why I'm getting really irritated sailing around them. I just want to get like far off out to sea and have it all to myself, not with all these fishing boats around here. Well, we finally slowed down enough that I think I can go for a badly needed swim. Actually, I just jumped in. I'm gonna lather up and then jump in again, and I'll put it on the video just so, I don't know, something different than just bobbing around here doing nothing. That's been the last 2 days, just not much going on, but at least I'll get clean. I've been kind of smelly. Soap doesn't quite lather up as good in the salt water. Some people say use dish soap, but I don't really like it. It makes my skin feel weird. The water is so warm, it's almost not even refreshing. Although, when you get out, it cools you off a little bit. Little bit of wind right there. Maybe that'll reach us. You're going so slow. Every time I jump in the water and on a video, I get somebody comments about how dangerous it is. I need to have a rope tied to me, and it's not dangerous. There's zero chance of this boat sailing away from me in these kind of conditions, even if the sail's up. If there's any wind, I'd lower the sails. For the boat to blow away with the sails down, it would take at least 25 knots of wind before it would even, go anywhere near faster than I could swim back to it, and I stay right next to it. So the decks on the boat have just become disgusting. So much mud. We're going up the river and that muddy river water, and I haven't been able to get into a marina with a hose to wash it off. But now we're becalmed, so I think I'm just gonna get some buckets of the salt water since it's clear out here. See what I can do. I already made a pretty big difference in the cockpit there. This was like completely brown. Check this out. We're right on the edge of having wind. It's like glassy calm over here, and just some little ripples forming over here on this side of the boat. And we're right in the middle. Same thing behind us. Sailing past the car will mean, a bunch of fishing boats and container ships and other big ships and things. So I have to pay attention at least until I get past there. I see we're a fishing boat here already, and still a few more of those pirogues, those little wooden fishing boats. But I probably won't really get far enough offshore to get much rest tonight. Probably tomorrow until I can really get good sleep. Maybe tomorrow during the day I can nap. You can see the lights of the container ships out in Dakar up there. I'm hesitant to get too close. So so I don't run into another encounter with the Senegal customs. I think last time they were expecting a gift, but they're pretty incompetent on their little skiff they had. It smashed into my lifeline stanchion, a little upright. I got it kind of fixed. I bent it upright, but still, I got it like halfway fixed. It was starting to crunch. I was hearing the fiberglass deck kind of crunch. I'll just keep my distance tonight, and then I'll tack around it. Unfortunately, it would be nice to go right up close because that could I'm trying to get as far north as I can. And my tack that'll push it further south, and then when the wind shifts, that'll mean we have to go more upwind on our way to the Cabo Verde Islands. But that's the way it is. Let's not don't really deal with authorities tonight. Things are going pretty good tonight. I treated myself to a brand new set of bed sheets. My ones were so gross in Africa because I didn't have anywhere to shower. I killed 2 earwigs tonight too. I hate those things. So satisfying. Although I hate the smell when you kill them. They have this musty old food kind of smell. But that's good to get rid of those. I want to get rid of all of those as soon as I can. We have 421 nautical miles to go, so I think we can make it in 4 more days if we average a little bit more than 100 miles a day. I mean, we still haven't done 100 miles in the first day and a half, but I think it's going to get better. But I think we're getting away from the car now. I'm not seeing any fishing boats in front of us, which is awesome. So I drank a Red Bull so I could stay up until we get a little further offshore. My last Red Bull. So next morning, day number 3, and we got some good wind now. Shortly after the wind got good last night, it died, so I just had to drop the sails and we drifted backwards a few miles. For lunch today, I got some refried beans and salsa and tortilla. That should be pretty good. Day number 3 has been going okay. Winds have been a little bit variable, up and down. We're beating our way upwind, close hauled. Sails. I just hove to so I could go for a little swim because it was getting pretty warm. That made me feel better. The water is not so much like a bathtub as it was closer to the car in Senegal. A lot of container ships I've been seeing. Just kind of chilling out. Good sailing conditions. It's a little warm. I think I might sew the sail pack underneath the sail because the reefing lines tend to fall out of the gap in between it. So if I just sew that shut, that should make my life easier when I drop the sail. So I'm stitching the 2 sides together so then these ropes don't fall through the bag. I've already done this section and that section. So I think I probably don't need to go all the way, maybe just to about right here. Something like that. Or that's how long I cut the threads. I can go to about right here. Dinner today is spaghetti with mac and cheese sauce, the jalapeno Cheetos mac and cheese sauce. It's 3:30 a.m. I just woke up because the boat, for some reason, it tacked. Hove to? I don't know what you say. Oops, sorry, I'm going back to bed. I fixed it. Now we're going even faster. We're doing 5 knots, and we're pointing even higher than we need to be, which is good because I want to aim for a little bit above the Cabo Verde Islands so that when the wind picks up, we can turn downwind if we need to, or if the wind changes, we don't miss it. Anyway, wind vane steering good now. The moon's out. Got our lights on. Just close our doors up. I would leave them open, but we get too much condensation inside. Good night. Still seeing a fair amount of container ships. I just pulled up marine traffic because it shows kind of a heat map of where the concentration of shipping traffic is. I am noticing a significant amount of water coming in along here, and the bilge is filled up twice. I just drained it, and you can see it's running down in there. It's not good. Guess we'll empty everything out of here and see what's going on, if it's in there. I just looked back at the PSS shaft seal. That's looking okay now, so that's good. I guess we've got the through holes. Not sure what would let that much water in to fill the whole bilge up in that short amount of time. It's definitely salt water, not like a freshwater tank this time. So I can't really tell what's going on. I closed the engine saltwater intake seacock, which also feeds the saltwater dish pump. I'll give that a few hours and see if that stops anything. That can maybe my foot pump is leaking, if that fixes the problem. Oh, now I set the timer. The bilge is getting to that point in about an hour. That's maybe like 20 gallons of water. It's not great, but I can keep up with that at least. I just crawled back again and I checked the PSS, and that still thing is completely dry. Which that's good, it's not that. A lot of water could come in there. I was also thinking there's 3 through holes in the back corner there where the bilge pumps pump overboard. And they're all kind of underwater when the boat heels over this far. So maybe, I stuck my hands behind there, they felt pretty dry. One of them was a little bit damp, but not like any significant amount of water was coming through, just like maybe a slow drip. I mean, not 20 gallons an hour. Maybe 10 gallons an hour. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Wind's picked up though. We're doing about 6 knots. And the waves are maybe 3 or 4 feet. Okay, so I think I found a little clue. There's like a stream of water running along this side. And I guess it goes through here and then down through here and out to the bilge, so. All right, I just took everything out of this locker. The massive amount of stuff. The dinghy and anchors and spare dock lines and everything. Still not much closer. I'm gonna crawl in there. I've tied the lid open so this doesn't slam shut and get locked in there somehow. That's one of my biggest fears. Look at these hoses, they seem dry. Looks okay. Looks okay. Where is this water coming from? There's a little bit on the floor, but not much. Let's check the rudder post. One more thing. How's that looking? Some cracks. No, all dry there. Let's hang out here until we find it. We will find this. So it's wet here. Is there a crack in the hull? Yeah, this is. Okay, wait. This is a little wet. Yeah, that could be it. Let's tighten up this canvas nose. Maybe even put a second one on there. Doesn't seem like that much water though. Ah, I'm so happy. I think I found it. This is definitely the leak. So we have a through hole here, and then this is the cockpit drain. So I guess this is under the water. The water is getting pushed up here. You can see this is really wet. I don't know if you can turn so many hoses here. You can't see. Yeah. So right here. So I'm gonna put a second hose clamp on here. Looks like there was 2, but one corroded away. Luckily, I got a whole bag of these, different sizes. So we just fix this. So I just put the second hose clamp on the top there. So hopefully that fixes that. Can't feel any water coming out. I mean, it's still damp, it's hard to say, but I don't think it's Yeah, I think that solved that. But as I was doing that, my boat was getting wet, which means there's still water coming from above me. See, it's all wet here. I see water dripping down here. Is it coming through the deck joint? I felt like fiberglass over all that. I can't tell. Let's pump this out. We'll see how much water we get in an hour. That fixes it. Look at that, it's almost metallic. All right, took a nap, an hour and a half later, and looks like the water has filled up a little slower, but still filling that up. Not great. So I added another hose clamp right to that one there. But I don't think that was the main problem. I think I figured it out. It was the tow rail. It was the deck hull joint, I think was the real problem though. So 3 years ago, I fiberglassed over the joint from the hull to the deck because it was kind of separating. You can see down below how bad it is. Yeah, so you can see the inside there. This happens on a lot of these production boats. The hull is made in one mold and the deck in another, and then they just glue them together. But over time they kind of warp and the glue, I don't know, separates and there's lots of leaks. So I did the whole length of it except for these last few inches. I'm not sure why. Oh, I think there was this wood was here or something, and I don't know, I just thought, you know, that's in the back, it won't matter. I'm taking care of 95% of it. Well, sure enough, it mattered. It looked like maybe there had been some damage at the very back corner of the boat. Maybe I ran into a dock or something. I don't know. Maybe it would have been leaking anyway. So it appears the water was, but I was still baffled because this part wasn't underwater. The whole deck joint isn't underwater now, but what's happening is the water is splashing up onto the high side, running along the back of the boat, and then just getting like dripping instead of dripping off the side of the boat, it just drips into inside the boat. So I just put a piece of tape there. Hopefully that will help. I just used this flexible tape that sticks really good. I use it all over the boat. I use it to seal the dodger to the deck and lots of stuff. It probably won't last forever, but it'll probably last for the ocean crossing. The problem was getting it dry enough. It might not have been dry enough to stick good. What we could do is I could heave to and let it dry out. Put another piece of tape on. Eventually I'll put a piece of fiberglass over that little section one day. So many one-day projects, but nothing's quite as permanent as a temporary fix though, right? So maybe this will last at least across the Atlantic. Just checked the chart and we've got about 324 nautical miles to Mindelo. We've gone 200, so more than a third of the way there, a little less than halfway. Not too far to go, maybe 3 more days. All right, moment of truth, it's been an hour. Is there water in there? I don't see any water in there. Hey, I think I fixed it. I did something. Super. Well, the sun just set on day number 4. Yeah. I'm like not even halfway. Almost halfway. Not quite. Thought this was gonna take like 5 days. Oh well. Looks like 3 more days now. We're going fast now. We're doing 6 knots all day. I spent most of the day trying to track down that leak. I got most of the cockpit cleaned up again now. I think I've sorted it out or slowed it down enough that it should be a non-issue. I'll keep an eye on it for the rest of the trip. I feel like my boat's just been trying to sink on me, like it was the prop seal back in Gambia, and then it was not just one issue here. It was like 3 different things that were like kind of real slow leaks, all combining into a bigger one. At least I was able to address it. So that's what counts, right? Well, I just went outside to look at the stars, and the stars are awesome. I like laid down out there for like an hour. It was awesome. That's cool too. And there's also like a bioluminescent like wake that the boat is kicking up. Pretty neat. And then got some orange slices for a snack tonight. And the boat is sailing really fast, and we're right on the right course. We're doing like 6 knots. That's just super. And there's no ships out here. And the waves are just perfect. I'm gonna sleep real good tonight. And I killed one more earwig today. Yes, things are going well. Cannot complain. Less than 3 days to go. I just downloaded the forecast using the Starlink, and it's gonna be like this the rest of the way, hopefully. I just decided I want to go a little bit further north to go around the windward side of I had a Sol. I was worried if I went on the leeward side, then the island would block our wind. We don't want that. Just adds a few extra miles, not too much. And we're able to make upward progress right now. So why not do that, you know? Don't want to have to motor through a hole, through a wind shadow, I mean. Sails are doing good. You can see my little patch I did into the car. That's holding up. Kind of itching to get there. I haven't really enjoyed this passage all that much, even though, I don't know why. I just haven't had the energy. Maybe I need a bigger break from the boat and then come back to it. Not sure if I'll spend some time on shore and Mindelo and leave when I'm ready. I want to try to film one of these flying fish. They're really cool, but they're so fast and small. They're hard to get on camera. They're flying. The boat scares them out of the water, and they fly through the air. They can fly for a while, like maybe 20, 30 seconds. Land ho! I had a saw. Well, great conditions. On day number 6 of the passage. I think working my way a little further upwind paid off, because now we got just a nice beam reach all the way to Mindelo. That's the port we're headed to. That's the one spot with a marina. And I really want to get like a marina with a hose so I can wash off the boat and fill my water tanks. That's why I picked that spot. And I know a few other cruisers I've met along my journeys that I think we're all going to end up in the same place at the same time, so it should be cool to meet up with them. And tomorrow morning we should get there. Less than 100 miles to go. We've been averaging 5.6 knots for the last 300 miles, so that's been good. I've been able to open up the port lights to get some air in here, so it's giving me a nice breeze. And I'm furiously editing my Gambia video because it's so freaking long. So much video on that one. I want to get it edited before I get there, a good portion of it, so then I can just not have to think about, you know, work. Just worry about enjoying the Cabo Verde Islands. Having some potatoes for dinner. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I could put in there to make it more interesting. Put a little of the salsa in there. It's kind of good, actually. Sun is setting on our last night. Very early tomorrow morning, I think we'll get in. 50 miles to go. 50 miles to go. I'm looking forward to finding some chocolate when I get there. This passage has probably been one of the best ones for seeing stars. Just great night sky. The sails are nice and happy. I've been on the same tack the whole trip. Well, since we got past the car at least. Looks like we're gonna end up getting in there at like 3 a.m., which is not a great time to arrive. I still want to get a little sleep tonight, hopefully, so I set an alarm. I just took like the max speed at like 7 knots, took the distance from shore and divided that by 7 knots, and that's how long I set an alarm for. And then I also have my kind of geofence anchor alarm app as a boundary that if we cross that, it will set an alarm if we get too close to land. So with those two things, I feel okay sleeping. I'm not seeing any fishing boats or container ships around here, so I think we're pretty safe from that. I just saw the brightest meteor I've ever seen. It was like super bright. It felt like it was right on top of the boat. Really cool. We're only an hour away from Mindelo. I can see the lights. There's the lights of the city, and then there's the other island across from it. Maybe that's the other island. Kind of hard to have bearings. The waves have kind of picked up as we've gotten close to the harbor entrance. Alright, this is going to be a challenging one. Trying to make out which lights are ships and which are shore lights. I've got 2 ships so far. Apparently there's shipwrecks in here too I gotta watch out for. Or abandoned boats. They're probably not lit, I'm sure. This is not really a river I want to come at night. But I've got no sleep today, and I don't think I'll get any sleep if I try to heave too. Okay, anchor's down and 20 feet of water. Kind of crowded anchorage, but in the back here, it's not too bad. Oh man, it's 4:30 a.m. I think it's actually 5 a.m. in my time because I just went through a time zone. I'm gonna go to bed. See you tomorrow. Here we are the next morning. This is the anchorage, and that is the marina. Mindelo Marina. This is sailing yacht Pickled Herring, channel 72.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. I just arrived from the Gambia. I'm on a 8.5 meter sailboat. Do you have a spot available for my boat in the marina?
Just approach it more close to the diesel station. I'll go there for help you, please.
Okay, I'll be there in about 10 minutes.
Okay, just when you're ready, you call back, please.
Just arrived in Mindelo. Okay, here we are. Looks like we have water and power, so that's great. And they put us next to all the catamarans. Just checked in with the marina. It was very, very nice and easy. It was 80 euros for 4 days, and that included the power and 250 liters of water. Now I'm walking over to the immigration office to get the passport stamp. Sounds like it's just a one office stop here, hopefully. Okay, we just checked in with immigration and customs. Wasn't too bad, maybe 30 minutes. I guess it's the port police office. Look there, it looks so small compared to those other boats. Today I'm on a mission to rent a scooter so we can go up the mountain and go for a hike. All right, just got a scooter here. Roadrunner Rentals, 25 bucks. I ditched the scooter a little bit back there. The cobblestone was just too much for me. Plus, I'm not really sure if I'm supposed to drive to the top and then there's a trail, or if this is the actual trail. In which case, I would be kind of annoyed if I drove all the way up there and then like didn't get to go on my hike. On the other hand, if I walked all the way up here and the trail started at the top, that would be also kind of annoying. So I drove about halfway up. Some blue ocean right there. Those are cool. I heard the tour guide over there say this contraption is for catching water out of clouds that fly over the mountains. Alright, we saw the mountain, now we're gonna go check out the beaches. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I want more subscribers because I don't like that some other sailing channels have more than me. It's not fair, because I think my channel is the best and we deserve the most. I know like 40% of the people that are watching the videos aren't subscribed. I'm gonna stop making them if you don't subscribe. I'll do it. But also thanks for everybody who's contributed to Patreon. I'll keep making videos for y'all. Anyway. If anybody wants to help support me making these videos, there's links for PayPal, Venmo, or Patreon. Really appreciate all that support. Next video will be Atlantic Crossing. As of now, while I'm filming this outro, I'm only 2 days away from Barbados, so by the time it gets uploaded, it'll probably be in Barbados. And that video will be coming out in another week or two. It might take a while. It's probably gonna be a lot of edit. But I'll get it out as soon as I can. I'll be on Patreon first for a couple days, and then I'll be on the YouTube. So I will see you guys again next time. Goodbye.